Oh, we didn't put the power chord in. Oh, we did.
Yeah, it's
All right, let's do power. Let's do voice. Oh.
Doing?
Sorry, I'm rusty. I think I tore my patellar.
I went down 2 seconds to share the link, and I just got mentioned. Okay, so
Oh, it's sore. It's a deep burn. Be all right though. You gonna?
I'm letting you work out your issues you got over here.
I'm good.
I'm trash. Welcome in, everybody. It's 2 o'clock. It's Monday. It's the Bullpen. I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky. We're live here at the beautiful Toyota Field in Madison, as we are, I believe, 17 days away, Trey Cabbage days away from Trash Pandas baseball here. We've got high school baseball this week. We've got Alabama baseball coming up at the end of the month as well. I mean, we are baseball heavy. We just had they're packing the big old ballpark fair up out of the parking lot. I didn't realize how quickly they just put that stuff back together and dip. Dude, the place was full this morning. They're halfway gone.
Buddy, they hustled. And I'm pretty sure I saw a dude back there sitting in a hot tub in the back of his Ford truck. He had a tarp down. Yeah, they get some water. He's just kind of hanging out.
What?
So they're riding in style to wherever they're going next.
You got a hot tub? I don't know if that's going to last riding down the street or not.
No, it looked like it was, hey, this guy can put up a fair in 2 days. I bet he can make a hot tub out of his truck bed like that. But
that's probably a good point. Yeah, I'm kind of afraid to go out into the gravel lot, but they've been living out there for 2 weeks. So I'm afraid of what that's going to smell like.
you should probably give it a second.
Let it air out
Just to be safe.
before you get going. Yeah. Oh, man. We got a lot going on. Again, we are 8 days away from Alabama baseball here. Trash Panda baseball. But we've still got plenty of sports going on right now, as it's probably one of the biggest sports times of the year, Ricky. Of course, it's
March
the World
Madness.
Baseball Classic.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right.
Oh, what'd you say?
The World Baseball Classic.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't that madness stuff, brackets and all that. We don't have to talk about that if you don't want.
Hey, World Baseball Classic's been cool to have, though. I love it.
That has been cool, man. I've watched 2 people get hurt. That wasn't fun. But we watched Trey Turner hit a bunch of home runs. That's cool. And then people argue about after the 2 people get hurt, everyone's like, oh, these are meaningless games. The crowd's been pretty awesome.
A lot of debate. Yeah, it feels hard to watch a game where there's that many people and there's that much emotion and say it's pointless. I know people get hurt, but good Lord, guys in baseball get hurt sneezing. You know? Mics aren't on. What?
Huh?
That can't be. That's impossible.
There's no chance.
There's no way that's possible. I refuse to believe that. No, I don't know about that.
I'm gonna check it out. No.
This was a bad time to take live feedback. Hey, we're good. I don't even know what we're talking about. Put that phone away. Quit texting.
That was our guy.
Focus on the shit.
That was our
I
guy.
don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Talking about the World Baseball Classic and having all these crowds, this gigantic showing, and then people trying to say that they're meaningless games. Again, I'm not. This is probably the most I've been into the World Baseball Classic ever. So I really don't have a dog in the fight. I enjoy sitting back and watching
I
everyone.
mean, you don't have a dog in the fight.
I'm pulling for you, that's. But I mean, like in that argument, meaningless or non-meaningless. I'm enjoying watching it. I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad the big stars are playing these games. It's very unfortunate that people like Jose Altuve got hurt and is going to be out for a couple of months. Was Diaz tore his patellar? You know, that stuff stinks. But as part of playing sports, I don't think you should just run to because he didn't do it in an MLB game. You should go to get rid of it. He felt he wanted to play. It was important for him to play, so he played. and it had a freak injury. It stinks. I understand why Mets fans are going to be upset about it. But
No, I totally agree, dude. But yeah, I mean, baseball players sometimes get hurt. Like when they're have a rough sneeze. So I don't see any problem. Are we still having audio issues? Is this it? Well, we're taking an official show time. I can't think or focus on anything because every time
he says he can hear us, but it's not coming through our microphones. I don't.
Are you sure you can't hear anything? Unless it's through this. Oh, look, I'm only talking into the microphone.
Yours looks like it's working. Hello.
Should we just turn it off and try again? I feel like maybe if we turn it off and try again, this will be better.
I have no idea why we're having issues. Everything's plugged in, right? We got our stuff.
I don't know. I don't have any issues. You have an issue?
I don't think so.
Hey, we got any issues? What about you watching in YouTube land? Can you hear me? Does it sound like it's coming through the microphone, or is it echoey? Does it appear that I've taken 1 week off and the whole entire show has gone to shambles? No one knows how anything's connected.
Yes. I'm not coming through the microphone.
You're not?
I definitely am not. You probably aren't either. So.
All right, diagnose this one for me.
Yeah, I'm not really getting that. Coming through the board, I'm not coming through this shit.
We got to turn this thing off. Start over.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to have to start over.
I mean, this is brutal.
This is awful.
Check. Oh, this is...
It's working on the board. You can see it coming through.
Oh, I know what it is. All right, show's fixed. I'm turning this off. We're starting again. All right, pay attention. We're going to be right back. We're going to be right... You see? Hey. All right. It's going to close. This is going to... No, I say we just keep it going. We already got the link.
We might as well keep it going, man.
Forget it. We're keeping it going.
Oh, anyway, all right.
All right.
Welcome in.
We're back.
It's now 2:07.
We're back.
It's the bullpen. I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky. We're live at Toyota Field. Recap real quick. We're 8 days away from Alabama baseball here. We got a bunch of high school baseball coming down this week and this weekend. And we are now 17 days away, Trey Cabbage days away from Trash Pandas baseball returning season number 3 here at Toyota Field. It's the biggest time of one of the biggest sports times of the year. Ricky wanted to say it was March Madness, but no, it's the World Baseball
Everyone could still
Classic.
hear what we said, just and not perfectly.
I'm trying to get everybody back on track. Refocus.
Oh, I got you. Okay, all right.
Refocus.
All right.
So for the third time, the World Baseball Classic. You got people that are injured. The big argument right now, because people are getting injured, big name players are getting injured, is whether these stars should be playing in the World Baseball Classic, because these games are, quote, meaningless. For me, anytime, and this is me trying to throw an argument in there, I really don't watch it enough to really have a stance one way or the other, but anytime like somebody's country pride is on the line, you're wearing your country across your jersey rather than your team, and you're deciding to play, like it's your choice to play, and you decide you want to do it, that's pretty meaningful. So to me, it has meaning.
It's what I hear from all the players, too. They're like, this should be where the top players in the country are playing. They said it during the USA-Cuba game. I can't remember which player they were quoting for the U.S., but he's like, why would I want to be at spring training playing those games when I can play these games instead? And I get it. And, yeah, injuries going to happen, whatever. Injuries happen anytime.
Did you hear?
Baseball Classic is good for baseball. You get to see these guys play on an international stage, which you don't ever get to see. I mean, baseball in the Olympics isn't. It's not the same as this.
No.
You know, this has more of a World Cup feel than an Olympic style competition.
I agree.
It's awesome, man. I mean, the uniforms. I mean, just like when you see Cuba's uniform, you go, yeah, that looks like the uniform for the Cuban team. You see America's, you go, man, those look good. Look at Venezuela. Look at all these. Like, there's pride. There's that country's flavor involved. The fans are going nuts. They got banners. I'm hearing drums at all times at that game last night. It's so cool.
And then there's Great Britain.
It does not matter to them. It does not. Actually, you know what? I'm talking about, like, Cuba's uniform's very colorful. Red pants, red jerseys, got blue in there. Cuba, all right, cool. Puerto Rico, kind of the same. You see a lot of Great Britain.
very plain, proper.
Kind of feels like Great Britain, right?
It absolutely does. I heard
Very plain, very ordinary, very nice. It's
Proper.
got Great Britain written right there in an Arial type font. Nothing too crazy. Something that the Queen would have been fine with. Great Britain, no other logos, no colours, grey, just like the sky, and that'll be it.
What about numbers? Should we put numbers up?
All right. We'll allow numbers, but that's it.
What about names? The players have names.
Whoa. You realize how many letters it takes to spell?
Do you realise how many letters it takes to spell Great and Britain?
That's 2 words, no names. I'll give you a number.
It's like 10, 11 letters, but it's not crazy.
You're pushing it.
I completely agree. That's what I thought too. The trending thing on their first game was Great Britain uniforms. So when I saw it on Twitter, everyone's like, "Oh my God, these are terrible! What are they thinking? they're so boring. What are they doing?" My immediate thought was, "I get it. I completely get it. Like everybody has their pride. Like your nationality and like kind of who you are as a country comes out in your uniform. Like you said, like the flavorfulness of Spain and stuff like that, and Mexico, how cool their jerseys, all their uniforms that I've seen have been really cool. And then you get to Great Britain, and I'm like, compared to all the other ones, is it boring? Absolutely. But does it kind of sum up what Great Britain puts out there for themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
Their jersey is the equivalent to a nice piece of whitefish.
That's
Nothing crazy, but it gets the job done. You're gonna live another day. You know?
you got your nutrients.
Yeah, your body's gonna be like, that's cool. I can deal with that.
It needed that.
Could have been better. Could have been worse.
Didn't take any risks. Didn't need to do that. All right.
Good old whitefish Great Britain out there.
That's 100% what it was. They're very much.
Did Hayden say he
Great
saw a
Britain.
jersey where the T fell off?
Yeah, he said one of the players like went and wiped their thing, and the T in great fell off. So that's cool.
I didn't know Great Britain's international baseball, got their jerseys from the same place my 9U Braves team got back when I played Little League.
Now look, we don't have to go through and pick our favorite uniforms in this like we did with the World Cup, but we can agree that the worst ones are Great Britain.
It's not even close.
There's not a
They
competition.
didn't even choose a font. They went with regular letters and numbers and then ironed them on a gray jersey.
Good job.
Earl Grey. Those Earl Grey jerseys. Yeah, that's Britain, baby. And they got smoked. Deservedly so.
Hey, the U.S., by the way, also another reason we're probably into it a little bit here, watching all these games on U.S. soil. They're in a ship. They're going for a title.
2-time. I said 2-time.
That's right.
Are we playing Japan or Mexico? Did they play yet?
They determine today, I think.
I hope we get Japan.
Today or tomorrow, they determine.
Baseball in this planet is about the United States, and it's about Japan. I want to see it.
Is Shohei going to pitch and hit?
I hope so. I want Japan's best.
I do too. I heard someone debating that earlier today. Like, who would we rather have as the U.S.? Who would we rather play? You'd rather play the Bay. You ask which team has the best players that you're most scared of. That's the team you want to play. You want to beat them, and that's Japan and Shohei. I want to see that
I
game.
want to see Trout on one side. I want to see Ohtani on the other.
I want to see Trey Turner go absolute bananas again, like he has been.
Trey Turner is an absolute freak.
Watching him go out there like it's the home run derby these last few games and hearing how big that's like a playoff atmosphere crowd. Ask yourself after watching those highlights if that game means something.
Yeah, for
Listen
real.
to that stuff. It's insane.
Yeah, if you haven't seen any of it, watch a championship. I think you'll be turned on the whole thing.
That's right.
It's pretty cool.
Robert gets in on the YouTube over here. He says, "Hey, congratulations, Ricky, on your wedding."
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, we didn't do a pod last week because Ricky wasn't here, and obviously big part of the show. But he got to spend his honeymoon in, well, at least part of it, not as much as you wanted to, you were supposed to, but he got to go to Barbados.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
I've barely been out of like the southern footprint, so a place like Barbados seems pretty cool.
This is the most south I've ever been. First time I've left the country in a while, and you always hear like being closer to the equator, the sun's hotter or whatever. That's why temperatures work the way they do. Just real basic science stuff for you.
And it's the truth. It's the truth. Because I was outside for about 3 hours the first day, and I am cooked like I've been exposed to yellow cake uranium, man. My skin is falling off.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice a lot of skin, and it's like not places it should be. Like instead of on your forehead, it's in your hair. You know.
I stood up earlier and I put my arms down like this, and it created a wind tunnel from my belly on up through my neck hole, and a plume of skin from off my chest shot up into the air in front. It partially blinded me. I thought someone threw sand at me, and then I realized no, those are just falling particles of my own.
He's over here making confetti
epidermis.
Skin bombs.
It's gross. Every time I stand up,
it's like skin confetti.
some of my skin falls off. So
So other than that,
I'm so itchy too. I feel like I'm wearing a wool sweater. I'm so itchy.
so dry? Have you aloed up or anything?
I've tried, and my body sucks it up, dude. You ever see that episode of SpongeBob when he's trying to pretend that he doesn't need water because he's trying to impress Sandy Cheeks, and then he's in there and he's like, and Sandy's like, "Well, would you like anything?" He's like, "Water would be nice." That's how I feel. Like I put on aloe, and then like, "Hey, some more aloe would be nice." And I can't even contain it, man.
So I mean,
Yesterday on the couch, just all day, I was just like giving myself a microdermabrasion so I could get the majority of my dead skin off. But it's brutal. I might have to go in through a car wash or something later. Let that little spinny thing just wreck me.
it's gonna hurt really bad.
Yeah, I need it. I need the hot wax too, maybe.
So did you
Use
at
it
least
like a chemical peel?
while you were becoming a human fried egg, did you at least enjoy yourself out there?
I did. We got a couples massage one day.
Those are nice.
Oh
we
my
did that on
gosh,
our honeymoon,
dude.
too.
This lady looked like Serena Williams just beat me up. She was a big lady, and she had strong hands. And I'm feeling loose. I'm feeling pretty good. She found some stuff in there. Like, she kept rubbing over these knots. And you don't realize how busted up you are until a big old strong lady gets up there and beats you up with her hands for
60
an hour.
good minutes.
Oh, yeah. All 15 rounds, man. She was good at her job. It hurt.
No
But
doubt.
that was cool. Did that. Got to see a bunch of like random animals and stuff, which I wasn't expecting because we didn't go to a zoo or anything. But we played golf one day. I'm not gonna lie, I had a pretty stellar shot. It was a par 5, shot number 3. Got a short layup to get onto the green. I didn't hit it very well. I'll be truthful there to you. Chunked it. But as I'm getting ready to line up my shot, I see something in my peripherals off to the right, and I'm like, what is that? Is that like, they got like coconut trees and stuff, so I'm thinking, is that a coconut or whatever? And 2 monkeys go falling out of the tree and go running across the fairway, and I was like, and I'm with my wife Morgan. I go, hey, Morgan, 2 monkeys, and she's like, what are you and and they go running across. I'm like, wow. And then I chunked my shot, which I'm gonna blame on the monkeys because you know how hard it is to get your head back in the game.
Yeah,
Like
you've never
golf.
seen 2 live monkeys before.
Oh,
either, so.
never. Mental game. And now I got 2 monkeys running around, and now they're behind me. So I'm thinking, what if they're coming back?
How close did you get?
Oh, I was there. I was 20 yards. It was just right there.
Because wild monkeys can be pretty dangerous.
No, I was definitely had my club on me. I was ready to. I was ready to take a monkey on with a pitching wedge if I had to. But I didn't have to. They were pretty cool. They just they had somewhere to go.
Now, I don't want to be that guy because I wouldn't be able to tell you if I saw 2 monkeys either. Do you have any idea what kind of monkey it was?
Oh, no. One in all the pictures. I saw a bunch of pictures of monkeys. Our room had a picture of a monkey right above the toilet. And there's a monkey like this. Like he's not looking at you. And I'm like, is that supposed to make me feel better that the picture of the monkey's like at least giving me some privacy? And
While he's sharing the bathroom with you?
yeah, looking to the upper left. And I was like, Morgan, I got 2 of them bathroom monkeys over there on the court. What is it? Oh. And then later, I'm right a bus stop, the seat, the little thing, it was all covered, and it said, don't take pictures with monkeys. It's animal abuse. And I was like, wait, what? The picture is abusive to the monkeys? Or what? But then I found out apparently people will hang out on that golf course, and they see 2 monkeys go run by. They'll snatch up the monkeys. Then they'll find tourists, which Barbados is full of, and be like, hey, for $10 you can take a picture of my monkey, and people are like, oh my god, yeah, $10, picture of a monkey, boop. And then, occasionally, like, the monkey tries to rip someone's eyeball out, or they make the monkey work for, like, 18 hours. So it's there's a lot of monkey-related issues out there that I found out in just a small amount of time. But
yeah, it turns from abuse to, like, labor laws. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
man. I was like, oh, no, these people are out here doing the Joe Exotic number on the golf course monkeys? That's not right. So I felt good that I found mine in the wild.
$10, take a picture with this monkey. Does he get overtime and benefits? Then I'm not interested.
Yeah, what kind of, you got a 401k match policy? This monkey's are they gonna retire?
Does he get PTO? What's the deal?
What's going on? I want my monkey to be able to have some freedom later in its golden years.
You said the ones in the movies. There are a bunch of different movies with a bunch of different kind of monkeys. You're talking about the ones where, like,
did I say the monkeys from the movies?
Yeah, I said what kind of monkey, and you were like, I don't know, the ones you see in the movies. So you're talking about, like, the ones where
I don't know.
The people will, like, they'll play, like, the little spin thing, and the monkey will dance like that, like the Indiana Jones. That monkey.
It was like I don't know. It had a tail. It looked like the monkeys that could hang from its tail and just kind of like, it had a strong enough tail where it could probably swing. I think it had like whitish fur, and then it also had some black fur too.
Yeah, I know what
maybe near the face, and then the tail was white and black. I think. What are they? What are those called? A capuchin.
You talking about one of these?
Oh, let me see.
One of these bad boys?
Oh, I don't know. That one looks kind of scary.
What kind of monkey it is, though? So.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Capuchin.
It's the jumping kind of monkeys, eating bananas.
Is it small?
You could have picked them up.
That little guy.
Yeah, that was a picture of the monkey, too, in the bathroom. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, there were a couple capuchins out there.
It's got a little heart-shaped head.
Yeah. And they go running around, and I guess they steal other people's golf balls. I wish they would have stole mine. That would have been so cool.
They steal stuff. Like, you see video of them stealing stuff and all the time, but those are the kind of monkeys that you'll see, like, trained, that'll come up and
well, I guess
people live with monkeys like this.
I guess the locals got mad about the monkeys stealing from them. They said, well, you go earn your stuff now. We're putting you to work. And then the bus companies were like, this is such an issue, we have to take out ads. People are bringing monkeys onto the bus. I don't know.
Don't take pictures with the monkey.
But, like, one day, I went into this coffee shop to get some coffee, and I come back out, and my lady friend's, petting a chicken. And I was like, whoa. I didn't see a chicken being outside of the coffee shop today. That's kind of cool.
You got to call your wife now.
My wife was out there.
Lady friend.
Sitting at a table. I said, don't worry about it, wife. Let me go get us a drink and some food. And I come back out, and there's a chicken sitting in my seat. And I'm like, chicken stealing seed. I did not have that one on my bingo card. How about that?
See, living out in the South my whole life, chicken's not really out of the ordinary. We used to, for fun, my parents bought us chickens one time.
Yeah.
And for fun, we would just run out and try to catch them and then let them go and try to catch them.
Yeah.
Again, so
I wasn't expecting a chicken, though.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
You're in a resort, and all of a sudden, chicken.
Ah, man, I really hope my wife someone didn't sit down, some beautiful guy from Barbados sit down and talk to my wife. I better get back out there. It's a chicken.
Dude, and it was always behind her. And so every time I have to go, oh, my God, babe, a chicken. And she'd be like, what? Are you kidding? Oh, my God, chicken. Oh, my God, baby, 2 capuchin monkeys just jumped out of a tree and are running down the fairway on 6. Oh, please, what did you? Oh, my God. And so, like, it got crazier and crazier. I couldn't believe it. It was so cool to see all that. But, I had my birthday out there, so we had a nice candlelit dinner on the beach the night of my birthday. A little 4-course meal. It was beautiful.
What'd you eat?
I had the surf and turf option there. A little steak, a little lobster. Got some panko fried sea scallops as an appetizer. That was pretty sweet. Pretty good meal there. And next day was St. Patty's, so enjoyed that and decided to burn another layer of skin off of my body. And then after that, we had to go to the airport where we flew home. And then travel's brutal. Yo, travel is brutal. Have you flown recently?
The last time I flew was with you back in 2019 to Philly and then back.
Well, as you know, everything works a little less well now since 2019, since COVID.
It didn't even work well then.
Yeah.
It took us almost 3 hours to take a 30-minute flight back from Atlanta to Huntsville because we had to deboard the plane twice.
Well, I missed a day and a half of my honeymoon because the flights got canceled and moved around. It was such a nightmare there. And dude, And this is such an unsettling thing, and it's not something you should laugh at, but it's something you have to laugh at because it's like just so. So our flight home went from Barbados to Charlotte, and then Charlotte to Nashville. Mm-hmm. And so we get to Charlotte, and we have to go through security again because we got off an international flight. We had to go through everything to get back to our domestic flight. And the TSA in Charlotte is having a horrible day. They're all yelling at each other, which means now they're yelling at the people. All the people in line, if they mess up one little thing, are getting dogged out by TSA. This poor lady, dude, she goes up to that scanner where you got to stand like this and does like a 360 UV scanning or whatever. And this poor lady had a piece of paper in her pocket. And you're supposed to get everything out of your pockets.
Oh, God.
And guy at TSA, who I guess maybe worked a double and was not having it, goes, okay, hey, everybody. When I said you can't have anything in your pocket, paper is a thing. You got paper? Get the paper out of your pocket, all right? Get up. And I'm like, oh, that poor lady with her accidental paper just got reamed out, and like the whole class got homework. It was brutal. And so I'm waiting in line behind that, and I'm like, I'm making sure I don't have paper. And I'm taking my boarding pass, I'm throwing it. I'm like, I'll get another one printed. I don't care. I'm not getting paper called out like this lady.
Morgan, do you have paper in your pocket? For the love of God.
I swear to God, if you have any paper on you, it'll be your last. And so I'm minding my P's and Q's, right? And this other guy in TSA, he looks at the dude he's working with. He's walking. First off, he's just standing next to a metal detector, just going, yeah, come on. Hey, y'all, half of y'all come over here. Just come on. And he's just whipping people through a metal detector that it might be on, might not be, because he's not looking at anything and nothing's beeping, and he is. Get through here. Get through this line.
You're like you're rounding third.
And I'm looking at him like, that's not the same kind of scanner as this one. Okay, and I go through there, and as I go through there, he looks at the guy he's working with. He's like, I don't care if all of these people have firearms. I don't give up. And I was like, bro, you can't say that. You're the security. Bro literally said that out loud to the dude who's standing as close as me and you. I'm walking between them. Dude, I don't care. All these people got firearms. I do not give a. And I'm like, bro, like.
You're the last line of defense for that stuff, man. You can't let me know that.
And I'm like, you don't give a crap about anything. Meanwhile, this guy is about to beat up the whole line over a sheet of paper. The scariest group of people in this whole airport's the people checking to see if there's any scary people coming into this airport. I'm like, babe, just get your stuff. Let's go. Don't have any paper, and then anything else is cool, I guess. But let's get the hell out of here and get home.
You need a good medium, dude. Like, you got one guy on one side that's like, bring all the weapons through, and then you have one guy on the other side that says, is that shampoo?
What are you doing wearing a watch? You know what time it is? I'll tell you what time it is. Time for you to get the hell out of line.
That's crazy. I had to. So everybody knows that the transportation service places. Anybody that deals with any kind of transportation, they start their day having a bad day. On Thursday,
yeah,
miscommunication between, I guess, the state and the
state.
Switched insurance companies, and I had proof that I've been covered the whole time. And then I got a notice in the mail that was like, hey, your tag suspended coverage. I'm like, well, that's we good?
Yeah, you're good.
I was like, well, that's not a real thing because I've been covered this whole time. So I called them and I was like, well, I have coverage. I've got proof from my insurance company that says there's no lapse in coverage, specifically says those words, and gives you the dates. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Can you email that to me? I'm like, yeah, I can. So I emailed it to them. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, you're right. You have to come down here and prove it to us. I'm like, but I sent you the thing. And they're like, yeah, but we need it like a real sheet of paper. I'm like,
real sheet of paper.
The thing I emailed you, I have to now print out and bring it to you in person. I'm just gonna print that off and bring it in. They're like, yeah, that's fine. So I had to take time out of my morning away from work to go down there and do that. And the lady, I got there at 8:30. They opened at 8. I got there at 8:30, and they served my number immediately, so they're not busy. And this lady was the worst. Like, I walked up immediately, and she sucked every good feeling I had out with just a look. Like, I walked on, like, good morning. She looked down.
God,
she was like, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I've got to get my tag unsuspended. I have proof that says I've had, coverage the whole time. And in the middle of that sentence, she goes, can I have it, please? Okay, so I hand her the paper. And she looks at it. And I'm like, yeah, so if you see right here, it says coverage. It tells you from September until now, I've been covered. So she looks at it. She goes, do you have insurance on October 28th? Yeah, you can see right there that I did. She goes, all right, hold on. She got up, went printed something out. She came back. She goes, all right, you're good. And she looked at me and I went, thank you. Have a great day. So I turned around and I walked away. And she just stared at me. She just.
Oh, it's the worst. Dude.
Like,
I hate that.
I'll see you.
Don't make me feel bad for just coming up here and doing what someone else made me do.
Yeah, I mean, I told you
I already sent him the paper.
I was being very nice. I was like, have a great day.
Good thing you didn't have to fly to Charlotte and do that. Guy'd be like, what do you mean you got paper? Why didn't you send them some fake paper? Well, apparently I did, but they wanted the real one. You ain't getting through here. Get out of here riding the
They
bus.
could come down here. They could talk to me. How about that?
You ain't flying anywhere out of this airport if you think you're going to bring in some paper. Hey, that guy with the bazooka, come on through. Come on. Get in here. Yeah.
That looks heavy. You need some help? We got. Hey, help him.
Take your papers and get out of here, pal. Go roll you up another doobie.
So going back to your whole travel because you got married last weekend, and it was a beautiful wedding. Me and my wife were able to come. Thank you for the invite. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you for coming, man. It felt good.
I realized something at the wedding. I've been to several weddings since I started here full time, since October of last year. It's a hot time to get married. And I realized it every time I go to a wedding, but I guess because I've had so many in a row, that you realize one thing.
What?
And it's that if someone, like the market, like there's a chance for you to make a ton of money. And the market for that money is an updated wedding dance song. If you could come up, because, I mean, think about the stranglehold that the Cupid Shuffle guy and the Cha-Cha Slide guy have, and the YMCA have on the wedding game. We haven't had a new wedding dance song since 2003. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, they have a monopoly on the wedding game. You come up with a popular wedding dance song, there's only 3 choices right now.
Well, it must be tough because the Casper Slide dude's been working on it for 20 years. Remember at the end of the song, they're like, all right, it's Casper Slide 2 coming at. Has anyone heard the Casper Slide 2?
Yeah, that's right. The Cha-Cha Slide, hey, part 2, make sure you check out part 2.
Yeah. Casper Slide Part 2 coming to you real soon. But until then, it's time to get funky. Where is Part 2? That dude has been crafting Part 2 like a Tarantino film.
Did it ever come out?
I don't know. Casper Slide Part 2 must have stunk. Must have been like that new Shazam movie. Just tanked. Where?
Mr. C, the Slide Man, Cha-Cha Slide Part 2.
Send me that link. We're about to play that. Send me that link. Is that copyright? Did he copyright that?
I don't know.
This is something new. The Casper Slide Part 2. Blah, blah, blah. That's what he says at the end of the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a Part 2.
Yeah.
Man, this is crazy.
I wonder if there's a Part 3. Does he promise us a Part 3?
I don't know. Is Part 2 Part 1? Because look, Cha-Cha Slide Part 2 released in 2000.
Mr. C, the Slide Man.
Hold on. Now, is this... Play that on there. Is Casper Slide? Is Part 2 Part 1? Is there ever been a Part 1? What do we know and not really know about the Casper Slide?
Where are you going? Oh, yeah.
Because you got to mute me on the other tab. That's Mr. C, the Slide Man is the name of the dude who made the Cha-Cha Slide? Oh, there's a music video?
Of course.
Wait a minute. Wait! Have we always been listening to Part 2? What's Part 1? And man, did that guy strike gold or what?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got a monopoly on the wedding dance game.
So what's the Casper Slide Part 1?
It's the Cha-Cha Slide. Is the name of the dance. It's the same thing. Does he say it here?
Oh, am I mixing up my slides?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Oh, Casper.
Is there a Part 1?
Casper Slide Part 2.
But he said the Cha-Cha Slide the last time, didn't he? It's called the Cha-Cha Slide.
Can we reach out to Mr. C, the Slide Man, and get him on as a guest for this show?
I'm so confused. I was so confident going into this. I knew what I was talking about. I'm so confused.
This guy wrote a song and made it part 2 when there wasn't even a part 1. I'm looking up Mr. C, the Slide Man.
That's probably smart.
I need DJ Casper. See, I don't know what's going on.
I don't think anybody does, dude. Mr. C, the Slide Man, he honestly is a genius. What might look like an oversight?
Willie Perry Jr., best known as DJ Casper, also known as Mr. C, the Slide Man. First record, Casper Slide Part 1, also known as Cha-Cha Slide, was created by the dude for his nephew who worked as a personal trainer at the Bally Total Fitness in 1998. Then the song grew in popularity as an aerobic exercise at fitness clubs and PEs. And so dude created a second song in 2000 titled The Casper Slide Part 2. The song became a hit. All right. There's a Casper Slide Part 1 out there.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
I haven't either.
Is it the same
Does it
song?
need
He
to be-
just takes that part out at the beginning?
I don't know. I don't know. But I need to know. And his discography, he only has 3. He released one in 99. He released Casper in 01, which I think had the hit. Mm-hmm. And then he released one in 2022. So he went on a 21-year wait, and then he released something. So I wonder if his new stuff's any good.
I don't know, but I'm giving you a surefire, bona fide way to make a ton of money, and that is come up with a new dance that everyone's going to play it when. It's going to be friendly, right? You can't do like the Soldier Boy or something like that. Like that's popular at like school dances, but you got to come up with one that's popular at all dances. Weddings, schools, all that. Because weddings have like 3 that they go to every time. It's the YMCA, it's the Cha-Cha Slide by Mr. C, the Slide Man,
Yep.
and it's the Cupid Shuffle. Those are the 3 main ones that you dance to at every wedding, most school dances. Come up with your own, and you'll never ever have to worry again.
No. That's really all you need.
Yeah.
Just one catchy guy.
One catchy dance song shows, and that's something that white people love, myself included. They love to be told how to dance. You know, I don't have
Dancing
to
with
figure it out.
directions is nice.
Yeah, dude, I don't have to figure
No
it out when you're
thought.
like,
No worry.
I see this guy over here pulling one of these, and then you're doing this little thing. I'm like, but when do I do that? But if you're in the song, you go, hey, slide to the left. Oh, okay.
Left foot, let's stomp. Let's stomp indeed.
All right.
Pop, pop. Oh, wait, hold up. Right foot. Okay. Well, I can do that. Pow. There we go.
You know, he does say crisscross. He doesn't explain how to crisscross, so it does get kind of confusing. But you figure it out pretty quick.
I'm going to check out that music video. That's good stuff. I did find out that part 1 was the Bally's Total Fitness version. Part 2 was once he figured out, oh, I got a hit on my hands. I'm going to let it go. So he just, for the masses, all we ever knew was part 2. And the only way you know part 1 is if you went to a Zumba class at a Bally Total Fitness
It'd be
in
pretty cool if-
1998.
It'd be pretty cool if they're the only ones that have the original tape still.
They deserve. They
Is that,
should.
Is that fitness place still open?
I was going to say there's probably a billboard or there's been a banner hanging outside of Bally Total Fitness in where's this dude from? In Chicago, saying home of the original Casper Slide. Zumba classes at 2, 3, and 5 every day. Come on out.
Mr. C, the Slide Man, actually teaches that class now. He's the instructor. Just come on in.
Left foot, let's stomp. Right foot, let's stomp.
Slide.
Please, everybody sign up at Bally's. Good for him, man. But yeah, it was a busy week. Glad to be back. I will be glad to no longer be molting like a snake.
Did you come back to a good bracket? I gotta know because I would assume it's okay. You probably picked Alabama to go all the way and win it all. Which
No
is
doubt.
a smart pick. The only team I thought Alabama could lose to, just so happened was going to be the team they were going to run into in the Elite Eight. So I actually picked Alabama to lose in the Elite Eight to the only team I thought that could beat them. That was Arizona. Arizona lost first round. Arizona was my champ. They lost first day. So first day, my champ was done.
I did get a good laugh out of that when I saw in our little bracket pool that you had Arizona.
Arizona, champ, first day gone. After that, I believe I also lost Duke and Kansas, who were in my Final Four. So I have. Get this: the Oklahoma fan has one Final Four team left, and it's Texas. I can't pull for them.
Oh man!
I mean, ever since as soon as Arizona lost,
love it.
immediately started pulling for chaos. So
Only
Princeton,
guy in the Trash Panda front office group to pick Arizona. Way to go, buddy.
I thought I was onto something too, man. I'm like, dude, Arizona's going to pull this off, and I'm going to win by a lot because nobody's got Arizona. Everybody's got Alabama, and then I'm like, I've got this thing figured out until about, I don't know, 5 p.m. on Thursday, day one of the tournament.
Yo, my bracket now isn't anything stellar, but I got the Tide, and the Tide look good, and if they win it all, I'll have a reasonable bracket.
It not only do the Tide look good, I don't want to sit here and say they got a lucky break, but because they look great, they're the best team in the country, but they also, their road became a lot easier because teams like Virginia and Arizona got beat out early on, right? So in a bracket that a lot of people thought Alabama was going to go ahead and cakewalk to the Final Four anyway, they definitely have that opportunity to do that. In order to get to the Final Four, instead of having to go through Virginia and Arizona like they could have, they only have to go through Creighton or San Diego State and either Creighton or Princeton or something like that.
So teams that are playing really good basketball sounds like a tough road to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather play Arizona and Virginia. You know why? Because they stink.
Well, the talent though. I mean, Alabama's going to get between now and San Diego State. If Alabama played them in the second round, maybe, right? Because you're a team that's on a short notice. You're playing really hot. Alabama, the best team in the country, has a week to prepare for that team.
It did work out
It's
well
over.
for them. I'm
It's
happy
over.
to see it.
San Diego State doesn't stand a chance. Alabama has a week to prepare for them. It's done.
I wouldn't go that far. You know, anybody can win at any time, but I like the way Alabama's lining up. I still got 3 of the 4 Final Four teams. How's your Final Four look? You got any of them?
One team left.
Yeah, who'd you have in your Final Four?
Oh man,
You have Purdue in there?
No, God, no. I had Purdue losing second round anyway. I had no faith in Purdue.
How long has Purdue? Remember a few years ago I picked Purdue to win it all and they lost in the first round?
So 3 years in a row now.
Never again.
Matt Painter 3 years in a row has lost to a double-digit seed in the tournament. 3 years in a row. Lost to a 16 this year, 15 last year, and a 13 the year before that.
Was it Purdue that I was saying is the Oklahoma State of basketball?
Yeah, it is.
I'll be damned.
And, dude, what's crazy about that, and someone was telling me on Twitter about it, too, and he's right. UMBC was an amazing upset. They beat the number one seed in the tournament by 20 points, right? But FDU, Fairleigh Dickinson, beating the 16 seed, has to be the biggest upset in March Madness history, and that's because not only were they ranked before that win dead last in the KenPom, they also didn't even earn their automatic bid. The team that did earn the automatic bid lost, or was disqualified or whatever.
No. They just transitioned to Division I, so they're in that transition window. You're not allowed to go to the tournament, even if you win your conference tournament.
So they couldn't play. So it went down to FDU, and they get in as a 16 seed, the worst team in the KenPom in the entire country, and beat one of the top 4 teams in the whole thing.
In the coach before that, they lose their conference tournament. Then in the locker room, they know they're going to the tournament because they get the automatic bid just for being there. And the coach is like, the more I watch tape on Purdue, the more I think we can beat them. And I'm like, oh no, coach, don't set yourself up for something like that. You're going to lose by 30. This is going to be ugly. And then they won. They beat Purdue, a team that had been number 1 or at least close to number 1 all year. And, yeah, Fairleigh Dickinson, the shortest team in the tournament, didn't win their conference. They stunk statistics, and then they almost go out there and beat Florida Atlantic last night.
They had a fighting
looked good
chance.
They had moments last night, but they couldn't quite put it together. But, man, that number 2 at point guard for them, was it Roberts?
Oh, the 5'9" guy?
Fairleigh Dickinson?
Tiny little dude?
Oh, my God. I don't know if he's still got years left, but he's going to transfer somewhere to like a big squad, and that guy was awesome. That's why you love the tournament, right? I mean, you could stink all year, be ranked in the 300s, get in on a technicality, and go make the biggest upset in March Madness history.
And here was the cool thing about what they did, too. I had someone tell me after the game, they're like, what kind of coaching is that from Matt Painter? Your player of the year, and Zach Edey doesn't even score the last 9 minutes. What kind of coaching is that? I'm like, did you watch the game? They tried to go to him, and FDU took one of the top 4 teams in the country. They took their strength away from him. They went to Zach Edey so many times late in that game, and he couldn't get a shot up. He'd get a rebound, and he would get it smacked away from him. He kept turning the ball over. They did a great job. The smallest team in the country did an amazing job at defending one of the biggest dudes in the country.
Yeah.
And most effective dudes in the country. And they had to start taking outside shots. And it was keeping them in it for a minute, but they started missing shots. They couldn't go to their strength. FDU, the smallest team in the country, took away. It was legitimately David Goliath size-wise, and they took that away. So it was great. It was a coaching thing that decided that game, but it was FDU's coaching. and execution that made Zach Edey irrelevant late in that game. It was really awesome to watch. That was cool. And then the Princeton thing, them being in the Sweet 16 is great.
Dude, beat the doors off Missouri, who
Mm-hmm.
I thought was a very good team going into this tournament. I thought Missouri's going to go to the Sweet 16. They're going to take care of Princeton. Kobe Brown's the best player on that court. They could never get it going.
I was hoping Kobe Brown and then would go to the Sweet 16. He's obviously played at Lee High School, so it would have been really cool to see that. But they got beat by the better Tigers that day anyway. Princeton was, I mean, they smacked them pretty good.
They did. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Who do they have next?
Princeton?
Yeah. I know if they make the Elite Eight, they play Creighton. They play Creighton because they make
That's
the Elite
right.
Eight, they play Alabama.
Oh, man. What a tournament. I think, a lot of people, even though Alabama was the number 1 overall seed, didn't necessarily have Alabama as a team they were expecting to win this, in a tournament that a lot of people are considering, to be the deepest or the most unpredictable in a while. I think Alabama's looked the best out of everybody playing, and maybe UCLA. UCLA's looked really good. Alabama's handled. Houston, they haven't been great.
They were challenged by Auburn in that first half. Auburn shot the
Yeah.
ball really, really well, and then Auburn went ice cold from the free throw line, from everywhere. Like halfway through that second half, or maybe even more than that, they had hit one shot. It was
Even
awful.
the game against Northern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky had moments where they were in
Yeah, I mean
that
you
one
had-
as well.
And that's another thing I was going to say about Alabama. To your point, when you're talking about these 16 seeds, one beat Purdue, the other one, Howard and Kansas turned out to be a big blowout. But the first half of that game looked a little iffy. Kansas turned it on in the second half without Bill Self. Houston, Northern Kentucky was closer than it should have been. Brandon Miller didn't score a point, not a single point
Yeah.
against Texas A&M CC, and ended up beating them by 21. So your best player doesn't score at all. And
Yeah.
Alabama, that goes to show you their depth. JQ's having a really good tournament, which is awesome for
Bediako
Alabama.
looked great against Maryland. I mean, they made their big guy. He fouled early. He was in trouble all game, and it screwed up the rhythm. I think Alabama's looking real good. I think UCLA looks real good. I think UConn looks good. That Texas Xavier game is going to be interesting. I think Texas is playing well, but so is Xavier. There's some good looking teams, but I think Alabama's got to be the favorite. I know Houston was the gambling favorite, even going into the round of 32. I haven't checked it. Have you? Do you see if the overall odds of who's going to win it all?
The updated odds this morning were Alabama plus 350 is the favorite, and then right behind them was Houston plus 400.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So to me, who do you think the best? Like, if you were going to talk about players, right now you can go team if you want to. What do you think? What's your favorite storyline going into the Sweet 16? Like, whether it be Princeton having a real chance to beat a team like Creighton, or an individual player like
Let me
JQ
see.
having a great tournament so far. What would you? Because he transferred from Duke. Duke went to the Final Four last year. Alabama was an early exit, but this year Duke's out. Alabama has a real shot to go win it all.
You talking Quinterly?
Yeah,
Quinterly's a Villanova guy.
Villanova. Sorry, my bad. But Villanova wasn't even in the tournament, so.
Yo, Duke. I had Duke making it far, and I'm surprised at how well Tennessee played against Duke
Locked
the
them
other day.
down, man. Absolutely. I just didn't think Tennessee would be like.
I wrote them off on the Sakai Ziegler injury.
Me too. The gritty defense isn't anything new for Tennessee this year. They've had the best defense in college
Yeah.
basketball, but I just didn't think when it came down to it in a close game they'd be able to score enough, and they've had no issue doing that. So excited to see what they're doing. But beside Javon Quinterly, I think my favorite story right now, I'm going down here to find who they're playing next, would be Keontae Johnson. You remember him?
Kansas State, the guy who passed out at Florida,
Yeah.
thought he died.
Didn't know he was ever going to be able to play basketball again, and then they came back and said, well, yeah, he after several different opinions, they said he will be able to play basketball again. He just can't play it at Florida for liability reasons, so he transferred to Kansas State, and he hit the big shot. He made one of the big shots to end up putting Kentucky away.
He did.
So,
Did you watch the Kansas State-Kentucky game?
Yes, I did.
God, that was an amazing game. Marquise Noel, the point guard
Oh, so
for
good.
Kansas State,
So good.
is the greatest basketball player that's ever lived. At one point in 3 straight possessions, he did a He did a behind-the-back pass. He did a between-the-legs pass. And he did a no-look alley-oop pass, all of which were perfect. That was 3 in a row. And, I mean, the rest of the game, he was, unconscious out there. That dude, I never heard of that guy in my life, and now I'll never forget him.
I know other people do it too. Maybe not a ton, but is he the one at the free throw line that during his warm-up he puts
goes between the back?
Yeah, puts the ball
behind the back, Yeah. So. Oh, my God. He's the greatest basketball player that's ever lived. Some of the stuff he was doing, they said it on the broadcast. They're like, this guy's playing like he's the Harlem Globetrotters. I mean,
yeah, it was
crazy stuff, and it was all working. I think incredible. Kansas State beats Michigan State to go on to the Elite Eight.
We've had some really good basketball games in this tournament too, man. Michigan State Marquette, for the most part, was a really good basketball game. FAU FDU turned out to be a really good game. I know we've had a couple of blowouts here and there, but we've had some really good basketball.
Arkansas, Kansas was a good game, and now you got UConn playing Arkansas. That's going to be a hell of a game. I think UConn's got too much size, which is why I think UConn's going to go all the way to the final. I think Alabama will play UConn.
I had Arkansas losing first round to Illinois because Arkansas was. I mean, they'd been hurt all year, but then their guys got healthy and they still weren't playing well. They lost like they won 3 of their last 10 games.
And how about Muss, dude? Muss, the friend of the show, friend of the organization. He's been photographed wearing a Trash Panda shirt at practice. But the thing is, he has no respect for shirts, which is why when he feels jubilation, he must rip his off and start swinging it like that. Yeah. That was the best.
That was sweet.
I'm going to start doing that. You should start doing that out of the press box for Pandas games. They get a win, you rip your shirt off and just start swinging it.
I'll tell you what, right now.
That'd be sick.
I'm looking at you guys right now. Every walk-off home win the Trash Pandas have. I'll do it.
Oh, my gosh. That will be.
Every walk-off.
Please.
It's going to be a walk-off.
Please.
Every walk-off home win this year.
I want that.
I'll take my shirt off.
Dude, I want it so bad.
I'll do it.
Put it up on the video board. It'd be like a slow zoom. And then just let it go. Oh, that's beautiful stuff.
Every walk-off home win. Mark it right here. March 20th at 2:52 p.m. I said it. And if I don't get to do it, it's because someone else said I couldn't.
Won't be this guy. I'm giving you the green light.
So now that the dust is settled, we have a little chance to breathe going into the Sweet 16. Looking at everybody left, I mean, you should feel even more confident than you did before that Alabama's got the best chance to go and win this thing. Who do you think you should be, out of the other 15 teams remaining, that Alabama's biggest mountain to climb would be?
Let me see the bracket there. We got Alabama, San Diego State. They'll play the winner of Creighton, Princeton. Mm-hmm. Not worried about either of those teams there. I think Alabama makes it to the Final Four.
Okay.
You look at the other one. We got FAU, Tennessee. I think Tennessee wins that one. They go on to play Kansas State. Man, buddy, I'm super impressed by Kansas State. I just told you how much I love that guy. I think Kansas State.
You declared him the greatest basketball player to ever live. So
Kansas State moves on there. Now, in which region is this to the right? This is the West region. This one, I think, is going to be a slugfest.
UCLA,
you got
Gonzaga.
Arkansas, UConn, which I think is going to be a good game. I'm taking UConn. Sorry, a little bit of my skin just flew past you there. I'm taking UConn, and then you got Gonzaga, UCLA. I think UCLA wins that one. And then UCLA versus UConn is going to be a battle. Mm-hmm. I would pick UConn because like I just told you, I think they're going to the championship, so I take UConn out of there. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if UCLA wins. They've had those same guys on the team for 15 years.
Yes, Drew Timme,
Tiger Campbell, Jaime Jaquez,
but even Gonzaga too. Drew Timme's been there forever.
There is a combined 175 years of experience on these two teams. It's going to be a great game.
That'll be a really good.
And then over here, I think it comes down to Houston and Texas. Could go either way. I'll go with Texas.
I wish so badly that either UConn or Gonzaga were over here on the Tennessee-Michigan State side, because the possibility of a Final Four of all of Alabama's non-conference matchups, you could have Alabama, Gonzaga, Houston, and UConn. But instead, UConn and Gonzaga will play each other if they make it far enough before we get to that point. So.
Oh, well. What about Michigan State? Where they at?
Michigan State's over. Oh, yeah, I forgot Michigan State, too.
They played Michigan State. It could be a four.
You could play Michigan State in the Final Four.
Hey, the Tide might be a basketball school, man.
I'm telling you.
How is that? How is that going to be nuts or what? If Alabama pulls it off and gets a natty in basketball, this state might flip on its head. Because it's going to have ramifications going into football. You know it does. All right, last year, what was big? The crane kick. Remember that? Alabama
That's right.
crane kick. Then what happened? Auburn goes on a run. All of a sudden, Auburn basketball, bam, they own the crane kick. Alabama wins a natty in basketball. What kind of ramifications does that have on football?
Ooh, that's going to take away what Auburn's been able to brag about too since 2019. Auburn had the only Final Four between the two schools. So,
Yeah.
you know what? I hope Alabama wins it all this year though, because Oklahoma didn't make the tournament. I'd love to split a national championship. It'd be great. Split it right down the
No,
middle.
we already gave you guys Jalen Hurts.
No, dude, we split it.
Okay.
Oklahoma tattooed.
Look,
Oklahoma tattooed Alabama this year by 30. You they at least get a quarter of it. All right, they get to split it.
It's NFL draft season. I'll cut you a deal. Okay, you can have 100% ownership over the college career of Jalen Hurts. He's an Oklahoma man. You could say that.
All right.
We'll continue to just not at all reference the fact that Oklahoma's national championship win in 2000 was the weakest of the last 25 years. We'll continue as a community to just be like, they got one, good for them. And in return, you get, and we don't have to share a national championship with you because you got lucky one day. Yeah. Does that sound fair? That feels fair.
That sounds fair, but I have my reservations about the whole 2000 national championship thing, dude. Stop hating on that Oklahoma defense. How good that defense
was. It's the least talked about.
Well, yeah, it's because people forget how good Florida State was. Florida State was averaging over 500 yards a game, and Oklahoma shut that offense down. Only allowed a safety they gave them at the end of the game. Defense was nasty, man. Roy Williams, Teddy Lehman.
See, I'd make a defense, but I just don't care enough.
Go watch the game, pal. All right.
I would, but
then afterwards,
so
you try to tell me Quentin Griffith wasn't a powerhouse. All right.
I remember watching it as a 9-year-old and thinking, this game was so boring. Maybe I don't want to play it anymore. I almost fell out of love with football.
Oh my God!
I bought a tennis racket the next day with my allowance. I said maybe tennis is my thing.
That was the game. Huh?
And I tried it. It didn't work. I went back to football eventually once the sour taste of that championship wore off. But I mean, it almost killed a generation of football fans.
Yeah, that's true. You should really get into SEC football where you have games that end like 5-3. That's way better football.
That's right.
Give me a break.
Mm-hmm. It's the last game you saw go 5-3.
Mississippi State Auburn.
So
it happened since that Oklahoma national championship. By the way,
that happened in like
more
2009.
Recent. Okay, and you're
and
complaining
that
about
was
the
earned. That was a field battle. That was a battle of field position. And those don't show up on the scoreboard, Tony Mack. All right. Now the game between Miami and Oklahoma in 2000, those are just a series of punts. That was just like
Florida State.
How quick, whatever. See, I don't even. No one even remembers who was in the game. That was a special teams combine, is what that game was.
It was a national championship.
That was a special teams combine. What that Mississippi State Auburn game was, that was a battle, dude.
Auburn won that game, and their fans hate bringing that game up. They hide their face.
Yeah, because they know people like you are going to be like, dude, well, I'll tell you about defense. Remember that 2000 game against Miami?
It was Florida State.
Boomer.
Hey, it was the same defense that had the Superman play. The same guys.
Dude, honest to God, I remember as a kid watching that game and looking at, what was his name? Josh Heupel. And thinking like, so, like, do quarterbacks not play in college? Do they just wait to play in the pros? Because, like, that's the best one?
And he finished.
That feels like he can't be the best one. Like, I was a young fella just dipping his toes into the world of college football. I don't know a lot. I don't know much about the history. And I remember watching that going, like, it feels like the quarterback should be a better, more athletic-looking person than this.
Oh, come on. Coming from
that guy.
From a team who won with game manager quarterbacks forever?
I know, but even as a 9-year-old, I looked at him and didn't even know what a game manager or how college quarterbacks translated to the league. And I thought to myself, I don't think that guy's going to make it in the league. I don't know.
You know who the quarterback was immediately following Josh Heupel?
Jason White.
No, Nate Hibble.
Who?
Went from Josh Heupel to Nate Hibble, and then it was Jason White.
Oklahoma had a period of very successful years where their quarterback. Where'd they find this guy?
You know, Josh Heupel finished second in the Heisman to Chris Winkie that year.
Yeah, no. Jason White, he won the Heisman, right?
He did.
And
lost 2 national championship games too.
And then wasn't drafted. That was the thing that blew my mind. I'm like,
he had bad knees, man. His knees were so poor.
That's what blew my mind as a kid. I'm like, man, these Oklahoma quarterbacks are so good at winning games in college, but apparently, in the minds of scouts, would just be so bad towards winning games in the NFL. Because, like, how does Jason White win a Heisman and not get drafted? That feels like something that could not happen nowadays.
You know who he retired with? I want to say he was like a practice squad player before he retired with the Titans.
Yeah, I remember he was with the Titans for a little while, and they gave him like, the last uniform in the back of the closet. He looked like a goof. I'm like, that man won a Heisman Trophy. And the pros look at him and throw garbage at him. Like, go grab that number 72 out of the back. I'm a quarterback and I have a different number. Just put it on. I have a Heisman Trophy as well. Yeah, but it's at Oklahoma, though.
Oh, stop it.
All their quarterbacks look like they teach biology. Let's not get nuts.
Sam Bradford was an amazing college quarterback, too. He just couldn't stay healthy.
And he got drafted first overall. Jason White didn't get drafted, and 256 dudes before them were deemed more talented than him.
Sam Bradford was also such a tragic story with how much money they spent on him and how injured he always was that they had to change the way rookie quarterbacks' contracts are structured. Because they gave him he made, just off the draft alone, was guaranteed over $50 million.
That era of quarterbacks was so weird.
Something else to talk about too. Speaking of Oklahoma quarterbacks, you see who's Tom Brady's successor in Tampa?
Baker
Mayfield, baby.
Baker, the touchdown maker.
He gets to throw to Chris Godwin and Mike Evans.
Hey, I'm not giving up on Baker.
Me either. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
I mean, I don't think the Bucs are going to be worth much. But
hey,
Baker had a good finish with the Rams last year.
His biggest quarterback competition in that division is Derek Carr.
This is truly make or break time for Baker. You can't get it done in this division. You're going back down to backup status.
Right.
Yeah.
You get to go play the Falcons twice a year. You get to play the Panthers twice a year, who are rebuilding. I mean, they had a good end of their year, but the quarterback that did that's gone. They let him walk, and they're probably going to go take, hopefully, Bryce Young. But even if they do, it's got to have a little bit of leeway. The whole team still kind of stinks. So
Baker Mayfield, college Heisman winner, #1 overall pick.
He's going to get another shot at a playoff game. I know he will. He will get at least one more shot.
Jason White. How could God? Remember Eric Crouch at Nebraska?
Yeah,
he won the Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one team was looking at him like, "You want to play receiver?" And he's like, "Nah." And everyone was like, "All right, get the hell out of here." That's it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, who's the last Heisman Trophy quarterback that we just absolutely dismissed?
Has that
happened
as
in a while?
an NFL quarterback? Well, people are torn on Tebow, I guess, but
yeah, but like
even though he won a playoff
got
game.
drafted and was given a chance.
Johnny Manziel? Well, he was given a chance
got
too.
drafted. Given. I mean,
you mean like just didn't play?
Joe Burrow, drafted first overall. Kyler Murray. He was first overall, right?
Yep.
Baker, first overall. Lamar, he was
Into the first round, last pick of the first round.
32nd first-round pick, though. Mariota, second pick of the draft. Winston, first pick of the same draft. Johnny Manziel, first round. RG3, first round. Cam Newton, Sam Bradford, Tebow, first round. It was Troy Smith in 2006, who was still drafted 174th overall. Jason White, undrafted. Eric Crouch was drafted 95th, and he didn't even have a position.
Chris Winke's another one because he was like 100 years old.
Chris Winkie was 28 years old when he won the Heisman. He was drafted 106. The Jason White thing blows my mind, dude.
Oh, keep going. I'm really interested.
I mean, this still, though, I mean, look.
Hey, Danny Werfel, 136th.
Yeah, but it was a little different back then. I mean, Werfel played at Florida forever, has all their stuff, won a Heisman, 5th-round pick. Chris Winkie, 4th-round pick. Eric Crouch, 3rd-round pick. Jason White, undrafted.
Troy Smith.
The
that
bar
dismissed.
was so. How?
Oh, hey. Well, he didn't win a Heisman, but Red Wolf said Stetson going to be in that category. He's not going to do much in the NFL because he's 40. He didn't win a Heisman, but he did win 2 national championships. I'm excited to see
The only other quarterback to win a Heisman and be undrafted was Charlie Ward, and the only reason for that is because he played for the New York Knicks.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's crazy.
It really is.
He's hating on Josh Heupel and Jason.
It just blew my mind. I'm like, how could you be the best player in college football and then be such a bag of trash 3 months later that not a single team even takes a chance on you? And dude, I swear to you, I think you have a flake of my skin stuck in your hair and stuck in your eyelash. Did you get it?
Oh, I think so. It's in my eye. Oh,
It was stuck in your eyelash. Every time you blinked, it went up and down.
I'm gonna throw up. All right, we got to get out of here. That's disgusting. I'm gonna go shower. Do we have a chemical shower somewhere?
Dude, I need to work from home for a couple of days. I'm grossed out too. I'm sorry.
Do we have a chemical? Can you hose me down with a fire
I swear to you,
extinguisher?
dude.
Just oh my gosh. All right,
Oh, I'm sorry.
we'll be back on Wednesday. I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky. That was really gross. It's been the Bullpen.
Do you mind after we turn this off if you microdermabrage me real quick?
Can I get one of those suits that you have?
Whatever you need.
Yeah. Give me a beekeeper outfit.
You got it, buddy.